Hey there and welcome to the Code Wrinkles channel. This week I found myself in need to do or to write a lot of SQL because we have recently shipped a feature in our application that relies a lot on data ingestion, data transformation, score calculations, a lot of stuff that happens in background processes. So we have onboarded a new customer and I wanted to make sure that everything is okay. And for that, obviously, I needed to do a lot of database investigation and database debugging. And to be honest, I found myself working with Claude Code and it really impressed me. It multiplied my SQL knowledge maybe 10 times, probably even more. Now, I have to say that I am not the best SQL expert. However, this underlines or this emphasizes this idea that if you have some decent knowledge on an area to understand what's happening, an AI coding agent can bring your skills to the next level. So in this video, I want to show you exactly what my setup is so that we understand how I come to the results that you are about to see yourself, and then you can judge yourself. So let's get started. The first very important thing that I want to show you, because it is the foundation for everything that I did regarding SQL, is the documentation that I have. And that's a very important point because whenever I do AI-assisted engineering, I always start from planning. And the output of the planning is always an extensive documentation of every single step of what we want to implement. And once this is done, we go to the implementation, and once we implement, we make sure that documentation and code is always in sync. And when I end up finishing up a feature, I have a complete documentation. First of all, here's this investigation. I have a docs folder, and I have then features in the docs folder. And you see that I have features for out, for DEE, which is kind of like the algorithm that I wanted to test, or the output of the first customers and the ingested data is DE, dynamic employee engagement, but I also have LDI and onboarding. Now here I want to draw your attention on one very important thing, which is the diagrams folder. Because one thing that I want to do every time I start doing or planning something is a diagram. Now, the diagrams are all in Mermaid format, which is an important fact because Mermaid is something that's machine readable. And the core idea is that I always start from the documentation and from the diagrams because they can just scan the diagrams, understand basically whatever the diagram wants to show, and also gives information about the underlying code structures and where it can find more information. So diagrams are really important. Here's, for instance, the diagram of our two-trigger architecture and how we synchronize data from Microsoft 365 for every customer and for every user that needs to be synchronized. Org hierarchy sync, exactly how this happens with managers. And now that we have this out of the way, the next important fundamental part that I want to show you is the prompt that I use, because that's, from my point of view, underlines some very important areas that I think, at least for my experience, are very important to get optimal outputs. So here's also the prompt, and here we have, or I have, three phases in this specific prompt. First of all, I want to set the context, and when I set the context, I just want to make Claude aware of all the information that it can find and where exactly it can find that information. So I instruct Claude Code to look through all the Claude MD files that I have across all the repositories. But then, as you can see here, I make the coding agent aware about the fact that I have a documentation. And here in Docs, Features, and DEE, you can literally find all information that you need. And I go even one step further and I tell it, start from the README file and from the diagrams folder in that specific DEE folder in the documentation. So it knows exactly where to start from, and from there it can literally go and navigate. It's kind of like hypermedia in one way or the other. Basically from there I also tell it another very important information, because I want, or I count on it generating some SQL queries. So I want to make sure that Claude Code will use proper schema names, table names, column names, and so on. So I instruct Claude Code to go to EF core configuration classes and look up the exact namings that we have. Then in the second part, I give the initial tasks where I say I want to deeply analyze the documentation, deeply analyze the code, ultrating, which is an important part for Claude Code. At least if you specify this, it instructs it to kind of think deeper and take its time to do a more thorough reasoning about what it is about to do. And then I wanted to do a step-by-step analysis because I want to make sure that everything is done based on kind of a chain of thoughts, because my experience shows that if I don't explicitly say this, not always does Claude Code reason exactly the same way. And then the fifth point is one of the most important ones, and this is utilize specialized sub-agents to orchestrate them in a meaningful way. Now, why do I want to do that? That's a very important thing. Not only because I want to do things faster, that's obviously one other very important thing that I get out of it. But what I want to achieve in this session is that inside one context, without any compacting, so without going outside the context or the initial context window, I want to be able to go to different steps and check different SQL queries. Like I would expect Claude Code to give me some queries, I want to run them, and then I want to give the result to Claude Code, and it should implement or it should interpret those results compared to the documentation that we have. So in order to do this, I want to make sure that I don't clutter the context of my current session with a lot of different information from analysis. Then I briefly explain it exactly what we have done in the application to arrive at the current state so that it knows exactly the entire flow and where to pick up. And also I instruct it when I say what I need to do. Basically, I just want to check all the information and the calculations and the background services that they generated correct output for that specific customer that we have onboarded. And also I said that I want to pay special attention to the fixes and things that we have changed within the last 7 days. And then I also instruct or explain Claude Code exactly what's our way of working, so that I would expect it to provide me one SQL query at a time that I run it, and that then I provide the result. Now, specifically for this video, I instructed Claude Code to not use any names and email addresses. Let me just copy this over and move to my VS Code and the terminal with Claude Code and see exactly how this is done. So now I have here a brand new Claude Code session. I just paste the entire prompt that I have used and I wait for things to happen. Now, obviously, I will need to give some permissions to check my Git history for the past 7 days. But one thing that I want you to pay attention to right now is that it actually starts a lot of sub-agents, like things that happen in the background. And you see that each one has its own tool uses and it generates a certain amount of tokens. And that's important because all those tokens would have been part of my current context if this wouldn't run through sub-agents. And that's how I try to keep my current context as clean as possible. Now I'll just take a break and I'll come back when everything is ready and when we can go to the next step. Okay, so here we are. We see that, okay, the first thing that we need to do is verify the DEE sync scope, which is the first step. So let me just paste this query. I will move over right now to the Azure Query Editor, which is what I will use to run these queries right now against our test database. And here we see that, okay, failed to execute query error, invalid object name. Now here it means that strangely enough, even if I have instructed it to actually look at the EF core configurations, it seems that it didn't really do it properly. So what I will do, I will just make sure that I have copied the right thing, because that's one thing that I need to copy, and I'll just give Claude Code the output that I got from this one, which is the failed query. And now it will look up exactly, okay, what are the corresponding schema names. And here we see, hopefully this time it will work correctly. Let me just copy this, move over to the query editor, just paste this and just run the query. And I see that here I have the sync scopes. And as I have instructed Claude Code, it doesn't really include any names, it just includes identifiers. So I will just move over once again and provide Claude Code the output that came from that SQL query. Now, Claude Code already analyzed this output against my documentation, because that's the context that it has, and it knows exactly that this is what it needs to do. So here I see here, for instance, okay, the sync scopes is correctly configured, license manager, this is the manager, then it has 6 direct reports. Well, everything seems to be okay. Then let's go to step 2, verify the historical import status. So let's just paste it. And here we can see that we have a lot of data, everything is completed. So I will just provide this data back to Claude Code. Okay, all results pass, which is cool. Now we want to verify that the communication events are important. And now, to be honest, I already expect that I would also have an error at the beginning. So let me just run it. No, this time it actually went fairly well. So I just copy over all the communication events, move back to my terminal, give the results, and just wait for the outcome. Now I see that everything completed, and it already gives me kind of like an excellent breakdown for each user, which with the user identifier, now the emails, the calendar, the Teams messages, and so on and so forth for a specific date range. Now, and basically everything is at is should be. Now let me go to the next one, and here we want to verify that our daily aggregate computed correctly. So let me just go back to my query editor and just run this other query. Once again, we have an error, but we will fix this in no time. And here is the updated query that I need to run. So let's just copy it over, move back to the query editor and run it. And now I have some results back. Let me just also copy those results. And here they are, dear Claude Code. So what should I do next? So let me see what it does here. All 7 users have complete daily aggregates, which means that the aggregation completed also successfully, and it looks good. Now the next step is I want to see if the baselines are calculated correctly. So let's go back here, run the query, and indeed I have all this information, which also seems that I have calculated all the baselines. Now, the one thing important thing is that for me as a human, it would kind of like take me just to read through that data and try to understand it against the expected behavior or the expected outcome. It would take me, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I don't know. But with Claude Code, I just get the output, I just provide it, and it can analyze it and provide me a summary and feedback just in a matter of, let's say, a very few seconds or 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, so let's see exactly what happens. All step 5 results pass. All 7 users have baselines calculated correctly, which is very important. In the next step, we want to calculate that the engagement scores are calculated correctly. So let's just copy this over, and hopefully this time it will work from the first try. And run it. No, kind of like, I don't know what Claude Code has today. It simply doesn't really want to understand that I have, or that it should kind of like look all the information from the EF Core config classes. But now at least it remembers that I asked him to look at the configuration classes. So instead of providing me another query just to find out via SQL directly what exactly we have, it just checked the file, so I can just run it, and I see that I get some other information. Now let me show that I really copy everything, because the daily aggregates, they have a lot of things here. Now I provide the information and let it do its magic. It already gave me a lot of things here. Step 6, results pass. All 7 users have engagement scores. Then I get the breakdown for each specific user, always with identifier, and if the data is okay and everything is expected. But now also I want to verify the score backfill, which is an important part because we need to calculate all the different aggregates based on the 90 days of historical data that we get. So let me go here. And once again, I expect, no, this time it actually worked. That's actually nice. So let me just also copy this over and provide it with this information as well. This time it showed me score backfilled work correctly, which is okay. We have sufficient data for all users and everything was calculated properly. Okay, now I have to check the response type data. We are already at the step 8. So let's move to the query editor and execute. This time also it worked correctly from the first time. Let me just get all this information, go back there and provide this information. Here it already tells me interesting data. Let me analyze this response time for the last 7 days. And it gives me kind of like a breakdown on each day and what it happened there, and some outliers, and the data shows the median is better than average. There's a 120-minute outlier on January 7th, which is okay. And check the response time from a communication events for the last 7 days. See that kind of like these get more and more sophisticated. So let me also just try to run this here. And here I have the data. So let me just also copy this data. Let's provide it here. So now it tells me that it looked at the raw response time, and what it actually sees, there's a major outlier on January 8th, which is 1,193 minutes equals 20 hours. The aggregate shows 23 minutes for January 8th, which suggests that the daily aggregation might already be using medians. This median would filter out the outlier, which is okay. So now after all this digging, remember, I didn't need to do anything logically myself. All this digging was done by Claude Code directly. And here is the conclusion. Like, okay, we have days with extra response values, which are a few of the days, but all the other days had null values because they were either vacations and so on and so forth. So it does kind of like, once again, verify the calculations that we do, and it sees in this case that the calculation is correct. So what I wanted to pinpoint you is that Claude Code really understood that I might have some problems, there might be even a bug, and it gave me a lot of different SQL scripts that I needed to run so that it could prove exactly if this was a bug or if the calculation was right. And down the way, it also looked at the different code files and at the output that it required us to run in the query editor. So what I do, I change the prompt slightly and say that, hey, let's go over this, so I don't really want to dig deeper here. And instead, I want a breakdown of all the different DE components and their scores per user and the basic interpretation based on the documentation. So let's run it. Probably it will ask me right now to run another SQL script that would gather all that information or all the data, or something else that I've noticed. Sometimes it just provides me some interpretation based on data that it already has. Now it kind of like, okay, gave me this one, and it kind of like aggregates all the needed information that I need. So let me go back here. Probably there might be some exceptions here. No, it actually works. But once again, if I just look at the numbers, they don't really tell me anything, but I can just provide all those numbers to Claude Code, and it will interpret them for me based on our functionality and how it is documented. So let's see what the result would be. Cool. So now if we look at the output, kind of like goes one by one through all the user and actually tells me about each score, how it is calculated, and what that actually means. And here's also kind of like a summary dashboard for each user and how it looks like and the key findings. But I want to go one step further, and I want to ask to create me an SQL script that I can run in one go from now on whenever I want, or whenever we have onboarded a new customer, that queries all that information and checks all the data if the data is right, and that then in the end gets all the information that it needs to provide me this summary that it did before. So let's see what happens. Okay, so what it actually did is it created me the script in another file, and kind of like, yeah, it has a step-by-step information of what exactly needs to be done, the historical import, all checks that are done, and so on. So this doesn't really change anything. So it's the entire script. Let me just scroll down till the end. I won't even check it right now. Now, what I will do, for instance, is I will just take everything, maybe not all the comments, that doesn't really help. Let's just take everything, go back to the Azure Query Editor, and let's run it. Now we see that query was successful, but I don't have any results. So let me just take this information here, and I'll go back and say, I run this in the query editor and I see some messages, but no results. Now the thing is, when you run it in the Azure Query Editor, it has some features that are slightly different than what you would have if you just run it in SQL Server Management Studio. So this means that the script might need to be adjusted based on this new information. So I just provided this, and let's see what Claude Code does with that. Okay, so let's copy this new version. Let's move once again to the query editor. And now it actually worked. I have all the reports. I have everything that is needed. So let me just copy here the output, go back, and that would actually validate if I have everything correct or not. Now let's see if it validated everything correctly. I have pasted the output that I've got from the script that I have just run, and I see the script works. Here's your DEE breakdown, which is actually what I've expected. Now let me just make this once again smaller. So I'm really not sure how or what type of expert you are in SQL, but for me alone to create this script for the validation and all for the results, and to understand how I apply all the business logic from the documentation in an SQL syntax and how to check it. Now, I would probably have worked on this maybe for 2 days, maybe some more. Now, here it just took a few prompts, a few missed attempts, but other than that, everything worked perfectly. Like, I'm literally impressed on how good Claude Code actually can do with SQL. That's what I have done this week and how I played this week with Claude Code and generating SQL queries and even entire SQL scripts, because I have created SQL scripts for deleting all historical data so that we can re-import again. And I have a lot of other scripts created with Claude Code that would help us from now on really automate a lot of tasks and checking in an automated way if our algorithms or if the data that we have from our customers is valid or is in a state that's usable for our application to provide some meaningful insights. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to this channel if you didn't do that already. And if you have any question, comment, or idea, or thing that you want to share, don't be shy and head over to the comment section below, leave a comment, and I would be more than happy to get in touch with you. This being said, thank you very much for watching, and until the next time, I wish you the very best.